Hi guys, it's Mrs. C here, and I wanted to take a few minutes today and finally show you my Foundations and Essentials students schedule and kind of what I put together for them for the year. I know I had several people on the Foundations video say that they were excited to see Essentials, and then I've been like radio silent for several weeks now, so I apologize. Our school year started, we went on a 10-day vacation. It's just been crazy around here. So I'm here now, and hopefully this will still be helpful. If not for this year, then possibly for future years. So anyway, so I'll start with his schedule. If you watch the Foundations video, this looks very similar to my other son's schedule, which this was a bad copy, but so it looks like this. This is different from our previous year's schedule. If you had watched one of my other videos, which was about our schedules from a few years ago, we had time markers for everything, and it was moving through our day and time. So this kind of combined that schedule with what we do in the summer, which is more of a checklist format, as I'm trying to build some independence in my kids, especially I have a challenge A kid, and I'm just seeing how important that is. So over on this side, we have things, sorry, this glare is so bad. There we go. Before school, things they need to do: math, reading, memory work, Bible, essentials, and what I call happy helpers, which is basically just chores, and then day specific things. So for our preschool stuff, they dressed, hair combed, breakfast eaten, teeth brushed, and I also have on here what we are eating each day for breakfast, just to kind of not have to worry about that. This is what we have, this is what we're eating. Helps me with groceries, helps them and me make sure that they're getting plenty to eat before we start school. And we start our school day at 9:30 because I'm not a morning person. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. I've made peace. So first thing he has is math. So we do math UC. Now, I should back up. He can do these in any order that he wants to. The first thing listed on the schedule is math. So he can, if he decides that he'd rather do Bible first, he can. He just has to complete all of these things, but I'm going to go in order. So math, we do Math UC. If you are not familiar with Math UC, it's an excellent program. We love it. I know Saxon is recommended. We started with Math UC before I knew that Saxon was recommended, and we've just stuck with it because I love it. So the way that their lessons are broke down is you'll have lesson, let's say 17, and it has A, B, C, D, E, F, and G pages in it. A, B, C are lesson pages. D, E, F are review pages, and G is like an application or enrichment page. So on their schedule, our math week starts on Monday. So they do page A and D, which would be a lesson page and a review page. They're going to do a lesson page and a review page every day until Friday, and Friday they will do their enrichment page and also take their lesson test that day. So that divides one lesson up into the week. They don't do math on community day because we're gone all day, so that's a 4-day math week for them. It's worked really well for us so far. If I feel like they really have the concepts down, I'll only make them do like half the problems on the review page. If I feel like they need a little more review, then they'll do all of them, but that's what we do for math. So then for reading, for Henry, since he is in Essentials this year and there is suggested reading, I created a reading schedule for him because it's the first time he's really had assigned reading. Last year I had books available, but he could pick whatever, and he just had to read for a set amount of time. But this year I need him to get through all of these books. Again, now having a child in Challenge A is really like helping me learn how I need to be starting to be structuring my younger ones so that they're successful in Challenge A. So I created this reading schedule. I can make this available. I'm happy to do that. I'll just plan to go ahead and do that. It is based on our CC schedule and our day of the week and the personal copies of the books that we have. So you might have a different copy and the page numbers might be different, but you know, if you just want to see what it looks like and look at it more close for your eyeballs without this glare and everything on it, then I'll have that available. But basically what I did is I took all of the books that he has to read for this year, plugged it into our schedule, and said based on what our IEW schedule is, it was okay, we have 3 weeks to read this book, and so I broke it out and how much he needs to read every day to finish that book in 3 weeks. My son that's not in essentials loves math, and he loved doing this because we were like calculating how many pages he would need to do a day, and then he was helping me add, okay, so if we're on this page and we have to read 17 pages, how many more pages in that? So we did that this summer, and I counted that as school because we did math all day. But so that's his reading schedule. So when it's time for reading, he comes here, finds what day he's on, and then he knows that these are the pages he needs to read for that day. It seemed like it was going to be a lot when I was doing it. Like I was like, oh, this is going to be so much more reading than he's used to doing, but he is flying through it and doing great. So that's the reading. Then we have memory work. So memory work is very similar to my foundations student, but I will show that to you in case you haven't seen that video. So he has a separate binder for that. I printed off just a fun picture that went with the cycle. He's been working on coloring it when he feels like it. Inside the binder, they have their Bible, which I'll go over in a minute, but they have tabs. So we have Monday, Tuesday, our community day is Wednesday, so we don't have a tab for that, Thursday and Friday. So on, so our memory work week starts on Thursday. So that's where I'm going to start because we get our new memory work on Wednesday. So I have gone through and off of CC Connected, printed off review pages for different subjects. So on Thursdays, he reviews Latin and maths memory work. So I have these Latin pages. They're just matching up the ending to the correct conjugation. So singular first person is O for present tense. So matching for Latin. I found these really cool spiderweb wheels. So they do one of those every day, just working on their times tables. And then because my boys still need some work on their handwriting, we have these. They have been doing these every year. I'm hoping that at some point they'll be like, oh, I remember those. I loved doing those work pages. Maybe not, but that's my hope is. So these are from Sherry Ellis. You can find them. My tip for finding things on CC Connected is go into the forum. Don't select anything. Don't do anything. Just go right up into the search bar and put as general as you can, but also not like too general. So like specify that you would like Latin worksheets, and then just look through what pops up. That's basically how I found all of this stuff. So I was like math worksheets, and then I looked at what was available and picked what I wanted based on that. So, but these are by Sherry Ellis. And they just are all of your skip counting numbers, and they have some kind of little activity at the bottom. And so they do whatever week we're on. So let's see, we are on week 4 now. So he should be doing week 4s, and they just do whichever one they need to do for week 4. So then for Friday, we do science and English. So again, I found these printables, and they were exactly all 24 weeks. Just one page for each of them, so I was able to print them front and back, so they have one page that they do. So they just go through, this is what is a pronoun, and he just fills that in. And then the science is usually filled into, I guess I printed that upside down, whoops. So they just fill in their science words and do whatever the activity is, and that's what they do for their memory work for that. And then let's see, Monday is geography and history. So I found these really cool maps that they color in and match up for their geography for the week. So they're working on maps. And then for history, again, because we need some copy work help, I found these really awesome copy work for history sentences. So they've been doing those for each week. And then Tuesdays, we do timeline, and then we have a review sheet. So timeline, again, they've been doing these forever. They cut out the individual pieces and glue them in. And then the review sheets look like this. Now, you'll notice this isn't filled in and it's week 1. They don't have to fill it in. They can review it in any way they choose to, but they have to review everything. So it could be that they call my mom and they tell her the history sentence for that week. Or it could be that they find their sister and they tell her what the Latin is for that week, or their dad. They can do it orally, or they can write it in. My one son hates handwriting, so he generally does it all orally. My other son's like, I just like to get this done, so if I have to handwrite it, I will. So that is our memory work review. So they do a part of this every day. It's all divided up, all printed up in there because I am a one and done type person. Then we move on. Oh, Bible's in here too. So Bible's next. I found this Bible reading plan for kids. It's from The Purposeful Mom. And this is the Book of Proverbs Bible reading plan. She had there's several different books that are included in this, and this is the first one. And so I like this because yes, I would love to do Bible reading every single day, but with our CC day and with Sunday being church day, like we're not doing a daily Bible reading schedule where there's something every single day of the week. I like this because it doesn't have a specific day on it. It doesn't have a date on it, which for my younger son would really like upset him if he got off on the dates. It would frustrate him a lot. So I loved that this was just a checklist in order. Whenever, like if you miss a day, that's okay. We just pick up right where we are and we can continue going. But it just has this broken down. So it has several different books that were included in this plan. I did purchase this, but it was fairly cheap. I want to say it was like $4. And I like that it has it just broken up into chunks. So they do their Bible reading, and then I ask them a few questions about it, and they come and tell me what their favorite part or what they learned, just to kind of make sure that they are actually reading and not just sitting there scanning over words. So that's Bible. And then our essentials binder, which is what most of you are here for, is this big huge honking thing. It's giant, but honestly it needs to be giant for essentials. So this is one of those case-its, which I love. I saw these actually in Costco, and I was like, oh, those are really fun. I like those because they're like the cool kids version of a Trapper Keeper, but they're super great. They have this little zipper here on the front, which my our essentials tutor is doing tickets, so it's a perfect place to put his tickets for charts. Inside it has this big huge pocket right here, which he takes this to class, so I have dry erase marker, pencil, pen, all that good stuff in there. And then here is a little thing we use to just wipe our if we do dry erase charts. And then this is what I also love. It has this little thing right here with all of these different little folders, and so it's super awesome because I can put his paper in here and his rough draft in here. Any handouts we get in class, I can keep them in there, and they're all right here, nicely organized. Love that part. And then it has, I don't even know how big this ring is. I want to say it's at least 3 inches. It's a giant 3-ring binder. So in here, I have his essentials reading schedule is in here. And then I printed out, I'll try to open this and show you. There is a file on CC Connected of all of the charts. You can print all of them just in black and white. And I would suggest doing it this way rather than trying to copy them from the guide. They just don't copy super great from the guide because they're green. Are they green in the guide? Anyway, I can't remember. They don't copy super well. The green ones are on the trivium table, I know for sure. I can't remember if they're green in the guide or not, but these print out really nicely. So I have all of his charts. And the awesome thing is this is made to be up and down. So like chart B, instead of having to turn it sideways, is printed in portrait mode rather than landscape. So all of his charts are in here. It also includes the, let's see, ATS, and it has a really big space for writing, which is awesome. And then it also has the quid et quo kind of section here, kind of blown up to work on. So that is all in here. Again, we take this to class, and this has been so great because they're all in order to find a chart when we need a chart. And then we have 2 copies because I also have the trivium tables from my daughter. I had bought them for her, and so each of us can have a chart in class, which has been really nice. Then after that, we have this notebook that I found, and I will try to put the link to it. Any links that I put that are on CC Connected, my suggestion is to, before you try to open the link, go and log into your account so you're logged in, and then try to open the link, because generally what I find happens, if I'm not already logged in, it will take me to the login page, and then I will log in, and then it doesn't actually take me to the link sometimes. It will just kind of stop after the login. So log in first and then click on the link, and you should be able to pull up links. So this was a workbook that someone put together for first year students. And then I also printed out these. You can find in the learning section, not the forums, but like the learning center section. So it has these, which are the weekly sheets, and I like these. They just have everything we're working on this week. It has all of our vocabulary down here. This is where we keep track track of his charts and which charts he's doing. I'll use this little chart tracker, and it just has everything on it. I don't necessarily use this because I'll show you what I have that I'm using, but if you have an older student that isn't doing this workbook, this is super helpful. My daughter did use this all year last year, and it was just awesome to have that there. But love these. I printed on the back of this, it's a reference sheet. This has all of the spelling words on it, and it also has your practice sentences on it, and again has the vocabulary list, which is also on the front page, but that was already on here. And it gives you like the highlights of what you're working on each week in EEL. So just in case you're gone a week, or if you kind of forgot, oh, what are we focusing on this week? It gives you the highlights from that. So this is by Deanne615 is who this was by. So if you're looking on the CC Connected and you're looking at in the forum trying to figure out where it is, it should say it's by her. It was labeled under her name, so you could probably find that. It also has a suggested literature. I just noticed that down there. So anyway, this is like my cheat sheet, has everything possible that I could need to know about essentials for week 4 on there, because that's what week we're on. But then I printed out this like first year essential student notebook, and the one that I printed out I think was for a different cycle because it doesn't have the correct vocabulary, but that's okay because I have it on this other paper. But I will show you what a week kind of looks like. I'm gonna skip here because we've already done part of week 4. So okay, so for example, week 5. So it has this for every day. So this is week 5, day 1. So on our Thursday, here is all the things that we're going to accomplish. And what I love about this is it says like, practice it. Oh, practice it. How am I going to practice it? Well, wouldn't you know, they give you a page called Practice It, and this is what it is, and it's all printed in here. And Practice It is usually practicing, like this one is our article adjectives. So we're a, and the. And it gives you a place to edit and practice underlining, practice adding them in. It explains what an article adjective is. It gives you examples. So awesome for the first year student, for the second and third year as well, because it's a great review. Then it also has a chart on, I printed these front and back, so it has a chart in there as well. So this is the chart we're working on this week. I love this because again, I have a writing and verse student who does not like to write, and this kind of takes a little bit of that weight off because it's a lot of fill in the blanks. And each day the chart gets a little more difficult to copy. So like this has a lot more words on it, but by day 4, it will have less words on it. So it's got a chart to copy on it. Again, love this. Has a definition at the top for pronoun because that's what we're working on this week. And then it has editing exercises. So the editing exercises and the essentials guides are awesome, but I find them to be a little overwhelming, and it's hard for me to really break down each part of the editing and what you're supposed to be working on because there's multiple things in there, which is how, is how it's supposed to be. But I love that this breaks it down. And it's like, okay, you are only going to be working on capitalization and end punctuation this week. So look at these sentences and figure out what needs capitalization, what needs punctuation, that kind of stuff. And it breaks it down into each rule, and you just work on those rules for the week. So this has edit it, and it's a review. So they're not giving you all the rules this week. You're supposed to kind of remembered, but it does tell you that there's 3 errors here and 4 errors, 2 errors. So you've got to find all the errors. And a lot of times the sentences go with the memory work for this cycle. So again, I think that the vocab words, I feel like they must have been from the old medieval history book and not the updated one that we're using now, is my guess, but I don't know. It really hasn't mattered. They also have this Practice It, where you've got some diagramming we're starting to do. So I just love this so much. It's made it so easy for me and my son to sit down and do it. It has this checklist that we work through. So we do all of these, the editing, the practicing, and do that. And this is what we have to do for week 5, day 1. And then we have week 5, day 2, week 5, day 3, week 5, day 4. And we just work through those every day. it has a place for you to list what you're doing in IAW, so it doesn't actually have your IAW, but that's fine. It does have your vocabulary. It reminds you to work on those, and it goes through and asks you like, what is a compound sentence, and it reminds you to work on just some of those basic CC memory work definitions that sometimes if you were like me and you were going through the first time, you didn't feel like the English definitions were very important or exciting, and all you wanted to do was have your kid memorize the history sentences because those seemed the most fun. And then you regretfully realize that you should have been all along working on the definitions for English because they're more helpful when you get into EEL. Anyway, all that to say, this goes over and reminds you. I don't see right here off the top of this a username for it, but I will find it and I will link it into the description of where you can find it. Someone else did an updated one of these, but it didn't have the checklist, and I really like having the checklist for us. It's just been really helpful. So that is his essentials binder. What we've been doing as he finishes up working on week and paper is I have, I'll hold this up again, it's so big. So I have all of this that we haven't done yet. It's all in this one section. As he finishes it, I move it out of his way and we move it to different sections so we know that's all been done. And then I have first semester and second semester divided up right now because I didn't have everything printed yet for second semester. I wanted to make sure that this kind of packet was working well for us before I went ahead and printed all 24 weeks, and I love it, so I will be printing the rest of it. And then I just have some extra notebook paper in the back here, and that's where we do all of our keyword outlines and where we do all of our, like if we do our other diagramming and things like that, we just use our notebook paper for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all in here. With the IW, I've just been going through and just working through the book with him and breaking it down. Usually we try to do our keyword outline the first day if we don't come out of class with one. So we do keyword outline, and then every day we've been reviewing our vocab cards. He has his box is over there, but he has a box. We keep all our vocab cards on it, and we've just been reviewing them each day. We usually go through the new vocab and see if we can find a place to put it into his keyword outline where we think they would work well. Then the next day we try to like put it into a paper. And then day 3, which is Monday for us, we usually go through and type that out and try to edit it. And day 4, we finalize everything. That's generally how we go with IAW. So I don't really keep any of that stuff in here because it's all in the medieval history book for this year, but I just work right through that with him. Then our last thing on here is the Happy Helpers. So they have some chores they help out with. For Henry, for like Mondays, he has to unload the dishwasher and wipe down their bathroom sink upstairs. And they rotate every day, so somebody's not stuck with doing one chore that they really hate to do. And everybody helps pitch in, and then that way they're also learning several different chores and not just one thing. And then the day-specific things on here are things like Monday is the boys' laundry day. So on Monday, they bring their laundry down and they do their laundry. And then I just listed on there that means you bring your hamper downstairs, you sort laundry, and you take your hamper back upstairs, because I was ending up with like a million hampers in the laundry room and I couldn't even get in there. Then I have like shower, you need to shower today. And like on Tuesday, because we have our CC day on Wednesday, I have their prep stuff on there. So it's, make sure you have your presentation, make sure you have your snack, get your water bottle ready, get your lunch. Those are all the things that you need to have ready to go for Wednesday. For Wednesdays, since it's community day and it is a crazy day on Wednesdays, it's just like when we get to coats, make sure you put your coat away, clean out your lunchbox, put your lunchbox with your backpack, and put your backpack. We hang them up outside in the garage. So go hang it up so it's not in our way the rest of the week. Pretty easy. Thursdays, I have let's see if I can grab this over here. Weekly, monthly, quarterly chart list. So these are different chores that need to be done around the house, either weekly, monthly, quarterly. I have daily ones that I do, but they go and they pick one of the chores from the weekly, monthly, or quarterly list. Some of these, like, they're not going to be changing the air filter. Like, that's on here. That's to remind me. that's not something I'm gonna have one of the kids do. But like Henry cleaned the microwave the other day. So I just write the date on there, and that way I can keep up with when it's been done and that it's been done. And then we just try to, just kind of gives me a little extra help doing some things, helps them explore a new chore, and just kind of helps keep some things that I wouldn't always get to or don't always get to. It helps me get to them a little bit easier. And then Friday is usually our basement cleanup. We are blessed to have a basement, and the hope is, especially as we move into the winter, that we can start having like a family movie night on Fridays and have it in the basement. And I would like to be able to walk through my basement to the couch down there, which I can't always do. So they clean up the basement on Fridays. And then Saturday, obviously they don't have school, but they are in charge of vacuuming and dusting and cleaning their room up, and that's really like getting it clean. And they also get their sheets washed on Saturday. So anyway, that was a long video. I'm sorry. I try to keep my videos fairly short, but there was a lot to cover in that with essentials. So I will try to put all of those links in this video for you. I will put the essentials. Well, first I will put the schedule in a Google Drive that you can access. I will try to put the link to the essentials printout, and if I can find them all again, all the printouts that I put in their memory work binder, but I cannot promise that I'll be able to find them all again. But I would put what I can find in there. And again, just because most of it's all from CC Connected, so I would just log into your account first before you try to open any of those links, so that it can take you directly there and not stop you at the login. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope if you've already started your year, that your essentials year is going awesome. I was kind of worried about Henry in this, but he's been doing so well in it, and just really fun seeing the things he's excelling at that was different than what my daughter was good at. And you know, I knew he was gonna have some areas that were gonna be harder, but he's doing so well in other areas. So it's just been really fun to watch him really grow so far, even just his first few weeks. So hope you guys have an awesome day. It's the weekend here, so I'm gonna sign off, and I will see you back soon. Bye.